Salakia. Salakia for the technical difficulties. Um, but yeah, man, we gonna just jump back into it. That's the second time I didn't got cut off the one. Press of the devil that the Bible speaks of. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we gonna continue and we gonna go to Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 1 in the Apocrypha. So, like I was saying, the breath of life that was in Adam was not actually breath. It was the law, statutes, and commandments. He was taught how to actually live because like it's slang. Like black people right now, man. Like if you ain't got a lot of money, like me for instance, I'm living, but I ain't really living. I'm trying to live. You never heard nobody say that? I'm trying to live. The Lord showed Adam how to actually live. Adam was already alive before the Lord breathed that breath of life through his nostrils. He was already alive, but then the Lord showed him how to live. You know what I'm saying? He showed him how to really live. All right. So this is Ecclesiastes 2 and 1. My son, if thou the Lord prepare thy soul for temptation. Man, look, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Guess what? You're going to be tempted. You're going to be tempted, man. And guess what? You'll find yourself, okay, for example, a lot of people, I'm going to say a lot of people, but there's some people that came into this level. We all know that, right? They didn't prepare their soul for temptation. They thought that when they got into the truth, life was going to be easier for them. Everybody was going to love them. They were going to have a good day at work. For some reason, his wife is going to be in check now. His kids is going to listen to him. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it happens. And then if you're not prepared for that, guess what you're going to do? You're going to leave. When you're not prepared for that, but if you prepare your soul, like the scripture say, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. You understand? A lot of people, they don't know how to prepare their soul because of the Christian church. And what they do, they end up abandoning serving the Lord. They end up abandoning serving Christ. They just abandon serving. You know why? Because it's something they're not used to. It's too difficult. It's too hard. Because before you came into the school, it was easy. Life was easy for you. You didn't have to worry about your parents hating you because you didn't give her nothing on Mother's Day. You didn't have to worry about your father hating you and wanting to fight you because you didn't give him nothing for Father's Day. You didn't have to worry about grandma being disappointed in you because you don't want to go to her house. It's the third Thanksgiving you didn't miss at her house. Life was easier before that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to prepare your soul. Go in there, mama. Go in there. That's why you got to prepare your soul. We're going to keep going, right? It said, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in the time of trouble. Look, you got to constantly endure. When you come into the school, this is not just something that I got it now. I'm free. I'm good to go. It's not that thing. You got to constantly endure. Obstacles are going to constantly be put in front of you. You might get a job. You know what I'm saying? Your rib might leave you. You might lose custody of your kids. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Hopefully that don't happen. You know what I'm saying? But nigga, you gotta constantly endure. Even though that might happen, don't use that as an excuse to leave the school. That's why we say no excuses, no cowards. Don't use that as an excuse. Find something else to do. You might not be able to go to work. I just seen a Captain Natsuzak class today was heavy. That's why I got the scripture from. You might not be work might be your issue with serving the Lord. Going to work and slaving might be more important to you. You can't have that excuse. You gotta find something else to do. If you can't serve the Lord, you got to find a way to serve Him. You understand? You gotta find a way to make it to class. Find a way to at least tap into the class online. You understand? Find a way to pay tithes. Find a way to do whatever it is you need to do to serve the Lord. You understand? Because Satan is going to make it to where it's easier for you to just leave. It's easier for you to just sin. You understand? And that's what happened to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? When they face when a lot of people face with adversity, it's easy to just run and not. But what they don't understand is, in their mind, when you face when people in the world face with adversity, or people just now coming to the school, when they face with adversity, it's easy for them to just run away. They just abandon serving the Lord and abandon following Christ, abandon being up under commanders. It's easy for them to just do that. When really the easier thing to do is face that adversity. That's really the easy thing to do. You know, when I'm going through this, I'm gonna face it head on. It's just like if somebody bullying you, right? If somebody bullying you constantly, guess what? They're gonna keep bullying you until you what? They're gonna keep. So a bully will keep bullying you until you do what? Until you stand up to them. And that's what you got to do to those demons. You got to stand up to those demons and let them know you're not gonna keep bullying me. I'm gonna fight back. And then once you fight back and you stand in the face of adversity, and once you stand there and you fight back, now you don't have that problem anymore. But you will continue to have those problems if you don't face those problems. Because guess what Satan wants you to do? Satan don't never wants you to remember the times that you won. Satan don't remember the time you stopped smoking weed and then you just never look back. He don't want you to remember those times. Satan wants you to remember the times when you fell short. Why? Because it'll make it easy for you to fall short again. And I always mess up. I always keep smoking weed. I know I ain't supposed to smoke weed. And then you will remember how easy it was just for you to smoke again. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Most High Christ says you damn right. Stand up and face it. That's what you got to do. You got to stand up and you got to face adversity, man. You can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. When you're afraid, you don't have. Like when you're afraid, you scared and all that. Guess what you don't have? You don't have a solution to the problem. You're around scared and afraid and all that. You don't have a solution to the goddamn problem. So guess what? If you don't have a solution to defeating this bully, to defeating this demon, you don't fight back. Guess what? You're gonna be defeated. You're gonna be conquered. And that's why, what did the scripture say? I'm gonna read it again. It said, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You got to prepare for these things. You got to prepare for these things. Because if you don't prepare and set your soul all right and prepare to fight against adversity and fight against this bully, this demon that's on you, if you don't fight against it, guess what? That demon will conquer you. The demon will win. You know what I'm saying? The demon will win. And then you'll be running around thinking that you left the truth because you wanted to. Nah, you didn't leave the truth because you wanted to. The demon wanted you to leave the school. It's not because that's what you wanted. The demon was on you that wanted you to leave the school. So you wouldn't have no protection. You understand? So you wouldn't have the Lord on your side. That's really what it was about. To be honest with you. To keep it straight up with you. You understand? It said, cleave unto him. So like in verse 2. Set thy heart aright. What is your heart? Your heart is your mind. You know when you get the what is it called? You know where you get the heart, your heart being your actual heart, your organ that pump blood. That's Egyptian culture. That's where you got that from. Your heart pumping blood. That's your heart. You doing things based off your organ. That's not the Bible. Your heart is your mind, according to the Bible. It says, set thy heart aright. Set your mind right. Set your mind on the right path. And understand that you in the school is not a bad thing like your parents convince you. It's not a bad thing like everybody around you is trying to convince you, oh, you in the cult. Oh, you tripping, man. God color don't matter. None of that stuff you talking about matter. You in the cult, man. They trying to take advantage of you. I never seen a cult that wanted people to get off drugs. I never seen a cult that wanted somebody to stop being a prostitute, shaking their behind on top of a goddamn car with their tongue out, musty as hell. I never seen a cult want that. I never seen a cult want children to not be molested. I never seen a cult want somebody to build a society to where you don't have to suffer and die and worry about somebody handing your children fentanyl. I never seen a coach want those type of things. So you can call the UPK whatever you want to call it, but I never seen a coach or somebody want the things that we want for our people. You don't see it. You understand? I'm gonna keep reading. It's set thy heart aright. You gotta set your mind aright. That's what you have to do. It's not that with something that it's an option. It's not an option. You don't get to serve the Lord on your terms and think that you can serve the Lord how you think you can serve him. That's not how this goes. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about at all. You know what I'm saying? It said, set thy heart aright, set focus. You know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures, 2 Thessalonians, it say, be not shaken in thy mind. No, you can't be shaken in your mind. Get in this and really get in this. Strap down in this. You understand? Strap down. Leaving ain't no option. Being in the Christian church shouldn't be an option for you. Going back into the world, doing whatever you was doing, that should never be an option. You know what I'm saying? It said, and depart not away. And depart not away. But like I said, a lot of the times when people face with adversity, they don't know how to stand up to that adversity when things get hard. When life gets too hard for them. So guess what they do? They abandon serving God. They abandon serving the Lord, following Christ. And then guess where they end up? They end up strung out somewhere on drugs, looking like Orlando Brown, Salakia. You know what I'm saying? They be somewhere strung out somewhere on some drugs or on a goddamn ride behind a dumpster somewhere. They end up, life end up being absolutely horrible for them. And really, that's what they was trying to escape. They was trying to escape life being horrible for them. And they thought by them leaving the school, and they thought that by them just saying, nigga, I don't want to do that Israelite stuff no more. They thought that was going to get easier for them. Why? Because it made grandmama happy. It made your wife happy. It made your kids happy. Now they can have birthdays. Now your wife can, you know what I'm saying, she can have you all to herself. Now your grandma can have you on Thanksgiving days and holidays, and we can go back to being a good family that we was. When you know that, nigga, you didn't have a good family. You understand? You thought about leaving the school was going to make your life better, when it made it worse. You thought that being a sinner was going to make your life better, when really it made it worse. That's why you got to learn how to stand up to adversity and fight those demons. You don't want to do those things that you who want to do it. A demon on you wanted to do it. A demon on you wanted to smoke weed. A demon on you wanted you to sell drugs. A demon on you to prostitute women or be a whoremonger or be a whore. You understand? Or celebrate holidays. It's demons on you that want you to do those things. That's why you got to learn how to yakara. You got to learn how to fight. If you don't learn how to fight, man, ooh-wee, life is gonna be hard for you. And you gonna get the hell beat out you every time you got a demon on you. You understand? It's important. All right. So let me keep reading. What was that? Okay, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. You see that? Whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Whatever happens to you and going on in your day-to-day life, going on with you and your family, mom's in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? Your children then ran away, whatever the hell going on in your life, man. Take cheerfully. Take cheerfully, because guess what? At least you ain't in the world. At least you ain't in the goddamn Christian church where they taking your mom, you taking your wife's money and molesting your children. Ain't going on with you. At least you ain't running around being a coward in the Christian church saying God loves everybody. I forgive you for slavery. At least you ain't doing that. Take on whatever happens to you cheerfully, because guess what? You don't deserve to be in the truth anyways. The life that I live, the life that you lived prior to coming to the school, you don't deserve to be here. You understand? But the Lord woke you up. You understand? And gave you that luxury of being in here. And you gotta take advantage of that. You hear me? It said, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. And you got to be patient when you change to a low state. What does that mean? You might be going through hell. You got fired from your job. You want to go to Pat. They won't give you the day off. You know what I'm saying? Your kids looking at you crazy. Your wife running down there ready to leave you because you in a cult. You hell. You understand? But it said, what did it say? It said, and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. Life used to be good for you prior to coming to the truth. You understand? You had a good job. You were selling drugs, getting money. You had all the women that you, your kids loved you because you was a good dad. Because you got them everything for Christmas. And then when you stop doing those things, you change to a low state. Be patient. Like it ain't gonna be hard like that every day. This only gonna happen for a time. Yeah, this only gonna happen for a time. You gotta be patient. Because if you don't have the mindset to be patient while going through adversity and going through what you're going through, then guess what? In your head, nigga, the world ended. The world ended. I've been arguing with my rear for 4 days. The world is over with. Nobody matters with me, man. Fuck that shit that y'all mind. If I ain't with that Bible shit no more, I'd rather just have peace with my wife. Guess who also did that? Solomon did that. Guess who also did that? Adam did that. Eve came to him and gave him this fruit and was like, oh man, look at nigga, they say they're gonna make us wise, and he don't want to argue with him. Like, man, look, all right, man, give it here. Next thing you know, he's out the truth. You gotta learn how to fight that adversity, man. Because if you don't, you will be swallowed whole. Like Jonah in that goddamn whale, you will be swallowed whole and spit out. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. But you gotta be patient when you in a low state. It's just like being in jail. You ever been in jail? Like, as soon as you get locked up, don't let it be for murder or attempted murder or something. You sitting in there, you like, damn, man, I'm locked up for robbery. I'm locked up for murder. It's over with. My life ain't never gonna be the same. This is hell, man. You wake up every 5 seconds. You wake up every second, every day, thinking it for months, years. Damn, my life is over with. And then you go to get sentenced, and then they come to find out that you ain't had nothing to do with it. You ain't had nothing to do with it, and you get out. You get out. They didn't make some Trump charges on you. Nigga, they see you ain't had nothing to do with it, and the Lord let you out. That happens to a lot of brothers. You think the police want you for something, and you might have did it. And you thinking your life over with. You like, damn, I'm so stupid. Next thing you know, your life back to normal again. You know what I'm saying? I know that happened for me. I was like, oh man, I'm like, I'm about to come into the school. I came into the school and I never looked back. I don't give a damn how hard life gives me. In this, while I'm in the school, what did it say? I'm gonna read it again. It said, cleave into him and depart. Cleave into him and depart not away. Oh no, it's like in verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Whatever is brought upon me in this truth, whatever it is, I'm gonna take it cheerfully. Because guess what? I don't even deserve to be here in the first place. Like if I was living, I don't think you don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And it said, and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. You might be going through hell, but guess what? Be patient. It ain't gonna always be like that. You know what I'm saying? We say John the Baptist too. Sorry, yeah, John the Baptist too. You know what I'm saying? John the Baptist too. John the Baptist wasn't patient. He wouldn't started his own Israelite group and did his own thing. You understand? Who else wasn't patient in the scriptures? Who was it? Peter or Paul? You know what I'm saying? He said, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? And they said 70 times 7. Christ said 70 times 7, meaning that you always supposed to sin against him. I mean, you always supposed to forgive your brother. But you know why Paul asked that? He asked that being sarcastic. How many times my brother gonna sin against me and I gotta forgive him? You know why Paul asked that? Paul asked that because he didn't have patience. That's why he asked Christ how many times I gotta forgive him. Because if he had patience, he would just forgive his brother and let it go. But you know why he said it? Because he did not have patience. He even stepped on my shoe three times. I'm going to kill him now. You know what I'm saying? Peter. Peter didn't have patience. That's why he asked Christ, how many times is my brother going to sin against me and I got to forgive him? How many times I got to forgive him? You know why? Because he wants to murder. He want to take action into his own hands and beat on them. That's what he want to do. And that's why you got to learn how to have patience being in the school. Because life ain't going to always, just because you come into the school, life ain't, everybody's not going to just love you. You know what I'm saying? And life ain't going to be all dandelions and flowers and sweet, delicate. Like it's not the Christian church. You go to the Christian church and they teach you that lie. Once you pay tithes to your Christian pastor and you know what I'm saying, you start wearing a suit and bring your family, life is magically supposed to be easy for you. It's supposed to be easy for you. When you come into the school, life is not going to be easy for you. Everybody is going to hate you. Everybody that you ever knew is going to hate you. But what you mean you ain't coming over? Grandma just cooked. No, I don't eat pork. I don't celebrate holidays anymore. This nigga weird. You weird. This nigga a part of some cult. Everybody's going to hate you. But guess what? Prepare thy soul when you come to serve the Lord. That is going to happen. Learn how to stand up against adversity. That's what you do. All right? So let me see where we're going to go after this. We're going to keep reading. Matter of fact, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. We see that? Because gold is tried through a fire. You understand? It's a whole process. It's a process. Gold is tried through the fire. You put gold in the fire, and guess what? It come out pure. It come out 24K. You have to go through certain things in your life. You have to go through certain adversities and face certain adversities to make you pure. The Lord is trying to purify you. And then you just have to go through those stages and those steps. You got to go through those things. You understand? To make you pure. And then because guess what? It's men that's not willing to go through that. They're not willing to go through their family hating them. Their kids hating them. Their wife hating them. Getting locked up and thrown in prison like Peter and Paul and all them. Dying for your people like Christ did. You understand? Getting thrown off a goddamn bridge like some of the disciples. They're not willing to face that adversity. So guess what it's easier to do? It's easier to just be a coward and say, that's not for me. But I know for brothers in the ISUPK, we don't got that option. We ain't got that luxury. You hear me? We ain't got that. We don't have that type of spirit. We like, man, it is what it is. I'm here. What's up? Let's build this up. Let me put my brick in where I can put it in. That's the type of spirit we got, and that's what type of spirit you're supposed to have. You understand? That's what type of spirit you're supposed to have, the spirit of being afraid to check in for class. Check in and put your name, city, and state. Because guess what? It's a lot of men that wish they had the integrity and courage to do that, but they just don't got it. You got to be the nigga to say, I'm going to check in. I'm going to start tapping in. I'm going to ask them, can I come to camp with them? Everybody that you see in the school, from the generals down, we the ones said that we brothers faced adversity, knowing that everybody was going to hate us when we came in here. And we said, you know what? I've been watching these brothers for a few years, for a few months, a couple of days. You know what? I'm about to gird up my loins, but I'm about to call that number on that flyer. I'm about to come to class. To hell with all that. I'm about to go to camp, man. They said come in all black and boots, and I'm going to come in all black. I'm doing that. I'm doing that to be a part of this. You got to have that spirit and never let that spirit leave you, man. Why? Because what did they say? What did they say? I'm going to read it again. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Gold is tried through the fire, and acceptable men. What did it say? And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You're going to be faced with adversity, but you gotta make it through that fire. You got to make it through that adversity. And guess what? You're going to be gold. You're going to be pure. This is a soldier right here. Brothers in Hebrew Academy, they understand that. We understand that. We went through Hebrew Academy for, 6, 7 months, 8 months? Having to wake up every goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? And you slaving all through the week, going to camp on Saturday, just for you to wake up at 6, 7 in the morning, have to go through Hebrew Academy, stay there all day till 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, just for you to wake up on Monday and go right back to the slave and do it all over again for 6, 7 goddamn months. And guess what? We was tried through that fire during the pandemic. We was tried through that fire, and guess what? We came out as gold. And it's the same thing with you. You understand? Don't be afraid to tap into class and come to class and, you know what I'm saying, call that number on the flyer. That's why when brothers see us in public, and I see brothers, you know what I'm saying, they know that they Muslims or Christians. They walk up to us and be like, oh man, hey man, what's going on, brother Shalom, man? I know who y'all is. I love that. Hey, Most High in Christ, but hey, take this fire with you, man. Come to class because y'all don't understand how much strength I've been there. I was afraid to call across the line. I was afraid to call that number for hella long. You know what I'm saying? So when I see brothers that walk up to us in public or just tap in right quick to the class, you know, I know how much strength that takes. You know what I'm saying? I know how much adversity you face with, and just to call a goddamn number. You understand? But you got to be strong. You got to be stronger than those demons. You got to be stronger than that fear. You understand? But with that being said, I'm in the class. Make sure you like and subscribe and tune in with us. We finna go live again on Sacramento and, at 9 o'clock with our podcast, Dropping Jewels. Make sure you tap in, like and subscribe to the channel, Baba Gasha. With that being said, Yahweh Shimon Shah, all the brothers. Yahweh Shema, Shimon Shah, all the sisters.